So have a look at this run of form. 14 wins in the last 15 games, including scoring 8 goals, 6 goals, and 7 in the most recent game. Unfortunately, this isn't our run of form. This is the run of form of Olympiacos, the team we're going to be playing today. Not that our own form has been too bad either. In fact, if we hadn't just drawn the derby 1-1 with Aris, we would have won every single fixture since our last episode when we were beating Hajduk Split in the Europa Conference League to qualify for the knockout stages. The next 3 games after that Hajduk match were pretty encouraging. We won 4-1 with a hat-trick from Willington Aponza. Then we won 3-0 and again looked pretty comfortable, although we did need 2 late goals in this game in order to put a little bit of gloss on the scoreline. But against Apollon, we were very good. We won 4-1 for the second time in 3 matches, and we were looking like we might start to put a bit of a challenge in on Olympiacos at the top of the table. But the most recent 4 games have been a little less spectacular. We had 3 1-0 wins, starting with one against Panathinaikos. Of course, they're one of the best teams in the competition, so that was a good result. But then we only won 1-0 in the next game against Asteras and 1-0 in the game after that against Levadiakos. 3 1-0 wins in a row kept that winning momentum going, but we looked like we were struggling to score goals even though we were now keeping clean sheets. And in the derby, well, we did not keep a clean sheet and we could only score once again. And we even had a sending off late in that game to a player we can ill afford to be without. All of which means that today's game has a must-win feel about it because we're well off the pace at the top of the table. We are 6 points clear of Aris in 3rd, and I'm becoming more and more confident that we can finish in the top 2 this season. And when we bear in mind that the board are only hoping for a top half finish, well, finishing in the top 2 would be good progress. But we need trophies if we're going to boost our reputation ahead of moving clubs again at the end of the season. And having already been knocked out of the Greek Cup and being so far behind Olympiacos at the top of the table, is beginning to look like if we don't win today's game, the Europa Conference League could be our only chance. And there's some big teams still left in that competition. So we're starting to resign ourselves to the fact that if we don't win today, it could be a trophyless season. We're going to have to move into our next job with the same reputation that we arrived in Greece with. We are 7 points behind Olympiacos at the top of the table. If we could win today, we would cut that to 4. And when we have the league split after 26 games, we get to play Olympiacos twice more, giving us the opportunity to take some points off them. But if we lose today, we are going to have moved 10 points behind Olympiacos. Are they going to throw away that kind of lead? I'm not sure that they are going to. But if we're looking for hope, there is a little ray of it, and it comes in the form of Tony Cascarino. I might have said that wrong. I think it's Tony Catarino, not the former Republic of Ireland international, but a Brazilian player who is the top scorer in the league. But bids have come in for him now that the transfer window has opened. He might be moving to Ajax. He might be moving to Mönchengladbach. As long as he moves, we don't really care where because he scored 16 goals in 15 appearances this season. And if you could strip that kind of marksmanship out of the Olympiacos starting 11, that might give us the little tonic we need to mount our own title charge. Am I clutching at straws here? Yes, I probably am, because they also have the second top scorer in the division. They have all 3 of the highest rated players in the division, as well as the top assist maker and the man with the most player of the match awards. So losing one player, I'm sure, would only put a dent in their armoury, but it could just be the dent that we need to drag ourselves back into a 2-way title battle. If we could win today, 4 points behind, going into the league split in just, 6 games' time, it gives us hope. It gives us a chance, because otherwise we're pinning all our hopes on the Europa Conference League. And do we have any hope of winning that competition? Probably not. Let's show you the teams that are still left in the knockout stages. Plovdiv from Bulgaria, Mönchengladbach, who might be about to add Tony Cascarino to their lineup, Guimarães from Portugal, Fiorentina from Italy, Maccabi Haifa, and just behind me, Rangers and Leicester City are all guaranteed their spot in the second knockout phase. And then we've got some teams from the Europa League playing the teams that came second in the group stage of the Conference League. And again, there's some tricky opponents. AZ Alkmaar are going to be there. 3 Greek clubs such as Aris, Olympiakos and AEK are going to be in there. Partizan Belgrade, in fact, both of the big 2 from Belgrade will be there. And Dinamo Zagreb. There's going to be some really tough opponents once we make it to that second knockout stage. So am I just trying to play down expectations ahead of today's game against Olympiakos? You're absolutely right, I am. But here's a nice little surprise for you. We're still playing the same tactic as we were in our last episode, and why wouldn't we be when we have been unbeaten? We are struggling for goals, but you've got to remember, we've been without the player who is still our top scorer, even though we're 19 games into the league campaign, and they only appeared in the first 5 of them. So it's no wonder we're struggling for goals when Maitzian Melida has been out of the team, but he's back on the bench today and we've missed him, but we are really struggling to keep our best players fit. Have a look at the bench today where Dan Rotz is struggling for fitness. De Guers, our central defender, is struggling. We've got Melida still making his way back from injury, even down one of the youngsters, Sotiris Christodoulopoulos. Eager to get that player out on the pitch more often just to say his name. Even a 17-year-old is struggling for fitness. And we've also had another bad injury to one of our key players. Felipe Suarez has got strained knee ligaments. He's been out for a couple of months already. There's another 3 weeks until we get him back out on the pitch. He's been pretty instrumental for us, either in central midfield or in the number 10 slot. 5 assists in just 12 appearances. Only 10 of those have been starts, so he's only really been fit enough to play in half of the league games that we've had, and we cannot afford at PAOK to be going so many games without our key players. If we could get Suarez and Melida back in the starting 11 for the second half of the season, there is a chance that we could do something special. We're going to have to try and find a goal scorer though, because Willington Aponza flits in and out of form. His stats don't look too bad, really, do they? 6 goals in 10 appearances. And if you have a look at how Crivelli's been performing, he's got 4 in 13. So comparatively, Aponza is looking sharp, but he just has too many games where he is not in the match at all. It's almost like you're playing with 10 men. Maybe if we could get Melida back into the team. Before, he was doing great over on the left-hand side. He might need to be a striker for us. Certainly, that's where he wants to be playing. He feels that time is running out for us to be playing him as an advanced forward, as was agreed with him. He's forgetting the fact that he's been injured for 4 months and I couldn't play him there. But still, he's pretty irritated that we're not. Apart from the injuries today, we've got that suspension to Oli Briabchuk. So we've had to do a little bit of juggling. We're bringing in a very veteran fullback in the shape of Dimitri Foulquier. He's going to play over at right back, and our normal right wing back, who is Pedro Pereira, he's going to be filling in over on the left. He's not left-footed, but he's been all right when we've asked him to fill out over there. And we've got some more veterans that we're going to be relying on today. We're going to need a little bit of craft and guile from Miguel Almiron. Look at him rolling back the years by improving in training. He's put in some good performances recently. And we're also going to be asking our 2 men in midfield, who are Juninho Bacuna, who again struggles for fitness badly, but also Ibrahima Sissoko, a vital cog in the PAOK wheel. We're going to be asking a lot of them today. We're also going to need a clean sheet today, I think, because we haven't been scoring many goals. 1-0 might be as good as we can wish for today. Let's show you what we're up against in the Olympiakos Scout Report. Today's opponents come from just outside Athens and the port of Piraeus, the home of the most successful club in Greece, Olympiakos. Holders of 51 league titles, including a league and cup double last season, achieved during Filippo Inzaghi's first season in charge. And Super Pippo has guided Olympiakos to the top of the table this season, and they are looking unstoppable. But today's game brings 2 rivals together, and anything is possible. For us, this game will decide if we're still in a title battle. It's a must-win encounter, but at least we'll have the home backing of a packed Tumba as PAOK take on Olympiakos. Okay, if it's crossable, I would urge you to cross it. This is going to be a difficult tie. Tony Cascarino is starting for Olympiakos. Wouldn't it just be very FM and if his final appearance for the club, he rattles in 12 goals? We've all been there, haven't we? We're on 17 minutes and Olympiacos have got the ball. The Tumba is packed. We're hoping that the home fans might roar us onto an unlikely victory. But that is an absolutely disastrous start. That looked like Ingerson at the back. What has he done? He's playing as the cover duty in the back three. He had all the time in the world here. He's just turned and played a blind pass. Tell me it's not to Cascarino. He's backheeled it to him. It's like they're linking up as teammates, except they're on opposite teams. And it is that man, Cascarino, that puts Olympiacos into the lead. So what has otherwise been a pretty tight first half has been punctured by that howler of a mistake by Ingerson. We could get ourselves back into the game right on the stroke of half time. To do that, we're going to have to win the ball because Olympiacos are coming forward again. Perez has got the ball. Here's Cascarino again. I said that he was going to be involved and he's in again. Don't make it a second. Cascarino has made it a second. Why couldn't he have just moved to Mönchengladbach a day ago? He's going to move tomorrow, isn't he? He's going to seal his dream move. And he's going to have done so having made Olympiacos red-hot favourites for the title. Again, it's our own mistakes leading to the downfall. Patrick William tackles and the ball runs straight into the path of Cascarino. And where was Ingerson again, I hear you cry? We've had a pretty even first half, 3 shots apiece. We're 2-0 down, and it's not looking good. Okay, at half-time, I feel like I'm making some panic decisions. I'm hoiking off Ingerson. I'm putting him responsible for both of those goals that we conceded. And also up front, Aponza is having one of those games where he may as well be on the bench just smoking a cigar as being one of the 11 players on the pitch for all the use he's been. So we're going to throw in Malida. If he picks up another knock because he's not fully fit and I've rushed him back in and asked him to play 45 minutes of football, this could be season over. But if he was to score 2 goals and drag us back into this game, well, I might just have pulled off a masterstroke. It's unlikely, but we're going to have to require a little bit more of these players in this second half. And in fact, you know what? I think we're going to have to nudge our mentality up from positive to attacking and see if we can get back into this game. On the 65-minute mark, we've had no highlights. Absolutely nothing is happening for us. So I think we're going to have to shunt the system. We're going to move Almiron up front. We're going to bring Sharifi to be the number 10. And we're going to dispense with the back 3. We're going to move Bakuna, who was playing in midfield at the start of the game. I moved him into defence when I took off Ingerson. He's going to go back into the midfield now. He's going to be the slightly more reserved of our midfield players. Sharifi, we're going to have to ask to bomb on, I think. I don't know whether we've got enough in us to get back into this tie when we've not even been able to force a highlight. But we finally got one now. We are attacking. We've got essentially 4 players up front now. Could we just try and drag ourselves back in with a goal and make the last 20 minutes or so interesting? No. Paddy Bill has given the ball away again. And not another goal of our own making. Defensively, we've gone. We've kept 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games, but today the defence has been culpable for both of the Olympiacos goals. But we've still got time, 72 minutes. We don't have the ball, but if we could win it and we could counter and score, there's still hope. This title is not over yet, but we've got a lot of work on. We have won the ball back. We haven't. We put a foot in. And we thought about winning it. We decided best not to make the challenge. Michailidis heads the ball away. Perez is on it now, though. This is not a highlight for us. We've got them just raiding us down our right side. We're waiting for another defensive howler. And you know how good Tony Cascarino is in the air. He did it for Millwall. He did it for Chelsea. Now he's doing it for Olympiacos. And I prophesied that he might score 9 goals on his last appearance. I make it that he's now got all 3 of the Olympiacos goals. And we are in a world of trouble now. So let me know down in the comments, have you ever overturned a 10-point swing? The Sharifi shows what kind of afternoon we're having. Have you overthrown a 10-point gap in the table with about half of the season left? We've got, 6 games until the league split, and then we've got 10 games once the league splits in two, and 2 of those fixtures will be against Olympiacos, so there is a chance to take points off them, but it's not looking likely. We've lost to them 1-0 this season, and now we're going down 3-1. Mike Ciani has at least got us another goal. How important he could be in this second half of the season. All's not lost if he could have an injury-free end to the campaign. It's not looking good. Let us know, what is the biggest points total you've ever come back from? Make me feel good. Have you ever reeled in a team that's been more than 10 points into the lead? And how long of the season was left when you did it? I'm not sure whether I've got the tactical nous to do it as well as you might have been able to, but I will at least enjoy reading your comments. We've got 5 minutes left. One more goal for us, by the way, and things could be interesting, but it's not going to happen, is it? Because they have now raced through behind our defence once more. They've rattled the crossbar, and I thought we'd sorted out our back three defensive problems. I think I was way off the mark with that little prediction. We're into injury time. This is going to be the last highlight of the game. A consolation goal will at least make the score look respectable. And Foulquier is in acres of space. He could get a ball in here. And 3-2 would be more than we deserve, I think. But they've cleared the ball. We've got 30 seconds left. Paddy Bill has had a terrible game. He's announced that he's leaving on a free transfer at the end of the season. I'm tempted to say good riddance after today. Sissoko, Almiron, it's that man again. He could be offside, but this does just illustrate how much we've missed him as a lethal finisher, because he's come off the bench and he's looked like our only player that looks likely. That one's been chalked off, but you can see how dangerous he is. And he is, well, he's several miles offside, granted, but look at the finish. Doesn't mess around, does he? And we go down 3-1. But the ray of sunshine is that Maitian Melida looked like he could be about to drag our team by the scruff of the neck and take us into the second half of the season. So there's that 10-point lead at the top of the table confirmed. It's not looking good for us, and we're putting a lot of pressure on our Europa Conference League campaign. Whilst we go and play some more games, why don't you check this video out next? Because if you're looking for a team to make the basis of your next Football Manager adventure, this video might just have the inspiration you're looking for.